Photography Final Year Exhibition Virtual Reality Solution by Will, Matty, Ben, Devon and Charlotte. Solutions. The two solutions we have come up with use AltSpace, a social virtual reality platform, and A-Frame, an open source web framework for building virtual reality experiences.
Each avenue that we go down has its benefits and disadvantages. Going forward, we will have to compromise, whilst at the same time ensuring that we put in a maximum effort to meet the client needs. A-Frame is an interactive platform that enables the user to be fully immersed in the experience. For example, if a user were to click on a piece of work, some information could be displayed about it. This would be a critical benefit to enable a positive user experience. The second pro is that it is easy to access pieces of work with an interface enabling the user to view random work or work from specific students. It has quick load times, which is crucial for accessibility. It's fully accessible on the web, including mobile, so people with different devices will all be able to access it. There is a link to a digital repository for the students' work, which enables fast implementation. The downsides to A-Frame are no social interactions, it takes longer to produce, and more elements are involved. To us students, it's an unfamiliar platform, so essentially, we are learning whilst also producing the work. And finally, on occasion, it tends to have bugs, which can be a slight issue. AltSpace is a platform that enables a realistic exhibition feel. This is a critical point to consider. We're all familiar with real exhibitions, so it's important to make them as realistic as possible to enable a smooth transition to digital. There are social interactions with AltSpace, which adds to the realism. As a team, we have tested this feature and we found it to be a positive experience. There are no size limitations in terms of users. Background music is an option with AltSpace, which again provides a serene and realistic environment. The final benefit is that we can implement QR codes, so contact details of students can be accessed by potential employers. The disadvantages with AltSpace are no interactivity, longer loading times for users, limited accessibility for users, and a limit of 30 people per room. However, you can have unlimited rooms.
The A-Frame prototype. So I'm quickly just going to talk you through the core user experience or user journey through this prototype. There's lots of other journeys you can actually do with different options of getting about, but this is the core, this is the basic structure. So you'd receive the website, you'd access the website and then click on the link, or you'd get an invite via email and then access the link via that. Then you'd enter into the VR browser and you'd be at a greeting point. So then that'd be like a basic tutorial and an explanation of what you're joining. You'd then continue past the tutorial and you'd enter the main room, which is expected to be, we're planning it to be more of like a social area. I'll talk more about that in a minute. And then from here, you can choose your viewing options. So you could choose a random viewing bubble. So this is just random students. Say if you are from industry and you just, you want a taste of a lot of different people's work, you can just view randomly. Or you can look at specific viewing bubbles, whether you see work in the main room portrayed on the wall, you can click to view students that way. Or you can view a list of their names and view the specific students you want. When you're in the individual bubble, you can just click next bubble, or you can actually click another specific user, or you can go back to the main room. So let's get onto it. So the project board, let's get into it. So this is the prototype. Let me just double check the qualities. Okay. So this is the prototype. Sadly, it's not in the best quality. I'm not sure why. But yeah, this is the basic design of the main room. It would be much bigger than this. But people's images would be portrayed on the wall, the photographs, so people can view them. They have buttons below. The buttons obviously wouldn't look like this. This is just for prototyping purposes. And then you'd finally choose one, and if you like it, you'd then press the button and you'd be taken to their individual bubble. So now the bubble, I'll pause it here. So this is the project board. This is basically a section of just their projects. We will have the option just below the project board title where you will have the projects listed that people can click on. They then have the next button to click next image, or they can look at educational information about it or the student's own info. And then we have the hub. So this is more the menu of how you can get back to the main room, student list. You can look at feedback. You can give feedback, sorry. You can also look at more information about the student. And then you can look at the next student or go back a student. So in the middle, where these white squares are, we are looking to put students' contact information and external links. Just so if anyone does want to get in contact because they like the work, it'd be very simple and it'd be integrated into it. So let's move on to the next section. Just highlighting these. And then we move on to the show reel. Now this section isn't final. This is just if students maybe have like a little show reel of their images or anything like that. We still need to find out a bit of information about the course, so this could be changed to something else if there's something more relevant. And then this is just a gallery for the students. I'm sure most students would have photographs that they haven't used on the course, but they have a personal gallery which they'd like to show. And this personal gallery can be displayed here. And then, you can obviously head straight back to the next student or straight back to the main room. So that is the A-frame concept.
So to move into the Altspace prototype, we've tried to design this one, once again, similar to the A-frame one, as simply as possible, and in a way that the user can engage with as much work as possible with as few clicks as possible, making it really easy for them, especially if there's older audience members joining. We don't want them to be confused by loads of redirectories. Really simple user experience. They're sent a website link or an invite through an email. They click the link, it takes them to the browser greeting point in Altspace VR. As we've discussed in the pros and cons section, people will have to download the Altspace application, and there is limited accessibility, so you can't access it through mobile, only through a desktop or laptop. But we do really like some of the features that come with it. So once they're at this greeting point, they can continue through the tutorial, and this will take them into the main room, which houses all of the work. So then they can just walk around from there and look at everything that there is there. So some of the things that we really like about Altspace is these characters. It allows personalization for everyone who joins, and some of the characters we created are pretty realistic. As you can see, Will Picky in front of me here, consuming some work. There's Devon, there's Matty, and a really realistic Charlotte is over to my right. So something we really like about Altspace is the fact that you can send messages and share emojis. As I'm sure you see, there we go. Thanks, Will, for the clap. We think this brings about and retains some of the social aspect of a physical showcase that I know we're fearful of losing going digital. We sort of want it to feel like a show, like people are there, and like it is an event. So we think this is sort of a nice way of retaining that. And we sort of thought that we could give students dimensions on a wall, and they can arrange their work in as many panels and sizes as they want, as long as it's within those dimensions. And then we can sort of use QR codes to redirect people to external links, portfolios, etc. This might not be as convenient as some things that are possible in A-frame, so A-frame has a lot more adaptability, but we really liked, the more humanistic feel that comes with Altspace. But we're still looking at the pros and cons and deciding how to move forward. This is something we wanted to share with you anyway.
Style ideas. So this is the mood board that we came up with when thinking about style ideas. One of the main ideas for theme that we all really like was to have it in the style of like a dark room, which for anyone who doesn't know is used to process photographic film to make prints. It's a room that can be made completely dark to allow the process of light sensitive materials like film and photographic paper. So we thought this would really give a feel to the photography theme and really stand out as a photography exhibition. For the contemporary building style, we are thinking open floor plan, as we found this to be the most appealing when doing our research and looking at these examples. Most of these have open floor plans, and a lot of exhibitions usually do, so we thought that would be the best style. We were also thinking that no roof would be a nice idea to make the space feel more open. It allows to bring in the sky and the sunset, and what photographer doesn't love a sunset?
In regards to roles, we have Will on 3D development, Ben creating the visual identity, Matty doing the virtual reality development, Charlotte creating marketing materials, and Devon on client communication.
And that brings us on to the end of the presentation. Thank you everyone for listening, and we'd be more than happy to take any questions if you have any. Cheers and have a nice day. Bye.